While writing my PhD dissertation, I came across the plagiarism issues. When I published my articles and after that I checked the thesis for plagiarism, it was showing a massive plagiarism. At that time, this was a big issue for me because I was going to submit my thesis to the plagiarism, and at the same time, it was showing a massive plagiarism. This was my own work, this was my own investigation, but universities and higher education department don't accept such like a massive plagiarism. And it also don't look good to have a massive plagiarism in a PhD thesis. So at that time I was thinking that how could I remove this plagiarism? So I searched the internet, I visited the Google, I visited the YouTube, I watched many YouTube videos how to remove the plagiarism. But all techniques which were showing on the YouTube and different sites, these were actually tricks to remove the plagiarism. And I thought that these tricks were actually unethical. And I don't think that any PhD researcher or any MPhil researcher should use these techniques in his study level, especially when you reproduce your own work which has been published in any journal. So at that time I decided that I will rewrite my thesis, I will reproduce my thesis. But the issue at that time was the time. The time was very short. I was going to submit my thesis, and secondly, if I am going to write the whole thesis, about 200 pages, this would be very difficult for me to write it on proper time, and secondly, to reproduce it in a good language as I have wrote it in the first draft. And secondly, if I reproduce it again, there will be many mistakes in it, there will be many typos in it. I would not be able to search any good languages to use any better sentence structure, paragraph structure in a short time. So this was a big issue for me. Then I searched, I thought about one technique. This was a better technique, and I employed it. That I used the Google Translator. What I did is that I copied every paragraph to the Google Translator. I opened actually three tabs. In the first, I translate my paragraph from English to French. Actually, I selected two other languages. The first one was the French and the second was the Dutch. I selected these languages because these alphabets matched with English. If I use Urdu or Arabic, that would not be better because I don't think that Urdu and Arabic may give a good result than French and Dutch, because the French is actually closely matching with the English. So in the first, I converted my English paragraph into French, and in the second tab, I converted the French into Dutch, and in the third, I once again converted the Dutch into the English. So when I got the lost paragraph in English once again, this was plagiarism-free, and this was giving the same meaning as the original paragraph. But once again, there was a big issue. This was a plain text. This was not a formal, technical. So the major issue here was that it was not a technical language. It was not a formal and scientific language. The Google Translator also translated my keywords. For example, as I was working on the cloud computing, so it translated the cloud computing and also translated my keywords such as the service level agreement, the providers, the consumer, etc. So once again I used the Grammarly. Grammarly is a very good software which you can use for your writing to check it for grammar. You cannot rely completely on the Grammarly, but if you know the language structure, if you know the English structure, that it may help you. So I copied the same text into the Grammarly. I rewrite all my keywords. I converted once again into the technical and into the scientific language, and I checked it once again by Grammarly for different type of issues, for different type of typos and grammar issues. And after that I copied it once again into my thesis. So this was a good way, instead of using any type of trick which is not ethical, and also the techniques which are not good to be used in the PhD or MS level. So I think this is a very good way to reproduce your text, to rewrite your text. This is not unethical because you are using this for your own work. And other that this completely change the sentence structure, and after putting your little efforts, changing your keywords and little bit changing it to the technical language, you can get a good paragraph, you can get a good chapter. Thank you so much.